What is up, ladies and gentlemen? To quote Sid from Toy Story, it came. It finally came. As you can see the 3 books behind me, you know that I'm here to talk about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie and what I thought about it. Let's get into it. Alright, so first things first, I just want to applaud Scott Cawthon for finally giving us this movie. It did take a long time, almost a decade I think, but he wanted to make sure that the script was right. It was a good representation of his work. And I'm so glad because I can honestly tell you that the wait was worth it. I loved this movie. I really feel like this felt like an event. Five Nights at Freddy's was something very small that just bloomed. It took off like a life of its own. This movie already had a fan base before it was even being written. Everybody wanted this to be a movie because we were so interested in the story that was going on in the background. The little tiny things that you would get from the first game, the second and the third, and even the fourth and sister location. This movie is a good blend of the first 3 games, with the first game being the main focus, with parts of 2 and 3 sprinkled in there where they fit appropriately, from Balloon Boy to things crawling in the vents. It was great. The animatronics are amazing. The puppeteer work is just so good. I'm so glad that they didn't use CGI, and whenever they did, I couldn't tell. I really couldn't. They used animatronics just like in the games, and they knew what they were doing. I loved how they recreated everything from the first game. This was what I wanted the Assassin's Creed movie to be. But this film, I will say, I adored this film. I really did. And the only 2 things from this movie I would have changed was having the animatronics be in the movie a little bit more, because in all honesty they're not, and maybe have them be just a little bit scarier. There is that kind of paranoia of like, okay, what's going on? How long until these things are trying to kill me? The paranoia set in as soon as I sat down and pressed play. When I was watching this film in the dark, I'm just like, oh, this was a mistake. And I adored every single minute of it. I loved this movie. I've watched it twice. And the other thing I would have changed is have Matthew Lillard, who plays William Afton, be in the film a little bit more. You can tell he's having a good time. You can tell he was perfect for this role. I honestly feel like this is what his character Stu would have been doing if he hadn't died in Scream 1. Especially when he comes in a Springtrap and with the knife, and I'm just like, this is Stu. This is Stu's future, trying to kill people in a bunny suit. But I really liked the focus that they took from the first game and really trying to adapt the story. This movie is a love letter to the fans. It is a big love letter to the fans. That's a good thing, but I will also say that that can also be a hindrance, because it seems like at one point he's trying to make the movie as close to the game as possible. He's trying to capture things for the old fans, like, for people who have been following it since the beginning. And then he tries to also do something different for new people who have no idea what the series is, or if they know a little bit about it. And those 2 things do clash. I will say it does kind of clash, but overall, I still feel like this movie is such an enjoyable time. This was an event, and we are in the beginning, and I really cannot wait for Five Nights at Freddy's 2. We are getting a sequel. That's already been greenlit. I'm really hoping that we get the toy animatronics and give Balloon Boy something else to do besides jump scares. I cannot wait to see what holds for the future of this movie franchise. Like I said, I want this to be the new Saw. Give me a Five Nights at Freddy's movie every year, and I will be happy. I will be happy if we get one every other year. Just please give us more Five Nights at Freddy's movies. Guys, that is my thought on this movie. I loved it. I would honestly give this movie for me personally, I would give this movie a B+. I really would. It's very faithful. I adored it. I cannot wait to see where this goes. And I want to know what you all think, guys. Do not forget to elbow drop that like button and spear the subscribe button for the 1, 2, 3. And if you are more into wrestling content, head over to my new YouTube channel called Talk Inside the Ring. And I had just got done with a video talking about WWE Crown Jewel in 2023. You can check that out. And the other video, the talk of the return of TNA Wrestling. If that's something that is more up your alley, don't forget to check that out. Hit a subscribe and give those videos some likes. Give this video some love. Give me, I'm going to go 5 likes. Give me 5 Springlock likes. I was Springlocked into this movie as soon as it started. I'm very excited to see where we go from here. We're in the beginning, and I cannot wait to see what the end game is. Have a good day, guys, and I'll see you at Talk Inside the Ring.